Hello friends, welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. I wanted today's video to be another cozy winter day at home video, so it won't be as chatty as usual, but I will pop in and out. I just wanted this video to be a nice cozy reminder of winter days at home. Also, if you saw today's title, you will know that we are preparing for a winter storm that we are going to be getting hit with at the beginning of the week. So I will be spending this video also preparing for that. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Amber. We are a family of 6 that is living in the Ozark Mountain region, and so any chance of snow or ice greatly impacts our life. Our entire tiny town shuts down completely. All roads, we cannot get in and out, and all businesses, everything is closed. So we take planning for winter pretty seriously around here, especially when we're expecting a storm. When we are preparing for a winter storm, we generally spend the couple of days before the storm preparing in case we are to lose heat or electricity. We prep a lot of food to make sure that we have stuff that is easily and readily available for us to warm up on our large fireplace in our home. We spend time prepping wood for our fireplace. We will make sure that our solar chargers are ready to go, and if not, we charge them. We will also hang blankets and sheets around windows or doors that have drafts, so you will see me do that. We're replacing batteries in our candles, all kinds of things like that, just to make sure that we are ready when the storm hits, because we will not be able to leave our house for a couple of days. I was making us a quick breakfast before we got going for the day, and we were having survey work done in our property next door, so Lincoln was keeping a close eye on the surveyors. These hobo packs can be made in foil packs. However, when I went to go get my foil, I realized I did not have nearly as much as I needed. So I am putting them into cast iron pans that I greased at the bottom, and I'm going to cover them with foil. I am getting chili ready in the crock pot. Now, you will see me getting quite a bit of different things going. I try to do as much as I can in the days before a storm to prepare in case we don't have any power or heat and we are relying on our fireplace to cook our meals. So it is much easier to have these things already kind of prepared, and that way we can just throw smaller amounts onto our fire and warm them up instead of preparing entire meals, which I can do and I often do when we lose power. I often do cook like breakfast and lunch on the fire, but it's so much easier when you already have it prepared. So I like spending the time before getting as much done as I possibly can just to set us up really nicely. And if we don't end up losing power, that is wonderful, and we will still eat these meals. I already had the griddle out from breakfast, so I went ahead and just did the ground turkey and onions on the griddle before I threw it in the crock pot for the chili. And if you are really good at spotting differences, that is not my arm. This is my husband. He wanted to help, and so he is putting all the stuff in the crock pot for chili for dinner. One of my go-to things to make on these wintry days where we are expecting a winter storm is a huge pot of chili. I love how versatile chili is. You can have it so many different ways. And so when we have a big pot of chili going, a lot of times the first night we'll have it as just chili. But after that, we can use it for quick, easy things like breakfast tacos or chili mac or on salads. It is very versatile. And so this is usually one of the things that I like having available on days like this. I'm cutting up a bunch of vegetables for some quick and easy snacks, but I'm also reserving the leaves and the ends of the vegetables, like from the celery and onions, and I'm going to fill it with water in the stock pot and boil it low and slow for several hours, making a really nice broth. I don't have anything planned for the broth right on hand, but when I'm cutting up a bunch of vegetables and I have stuff left over, it is always nice to have a broth on hand for when you make soup, or they make really nice additions when you're boiling potatoes for mashed potatoes, or when you're steaming rice. They add a lot of flavor, and it's just with using every part of the vegetable. So it's something I really like doing when I'm cutting up vegetables for other things. I always save the ends of the vegetables, the extra parts, because they make such a wonderful broth. And if you don't have a lot, um, like right now I'm cutting up quite a bit, but if you don't have a lot, you can take those and put them in like a gallon freezer bag and then just keep storing them in the freezer until you do have enough to make a vegetable broth. Now, I usually do strain my broth before I put them in the jars to store. However, my teenagers were the last ones to do the dishes, and I cannot locate my strainers. So I'll be straining them later, not right now. However, I was able to get most of the stuff out. It's just a couple of like carrot slices is basically what was in there, but just know they're usually not chunky. I just could not find my strainer. This Amish milk bread uses 5.5 cups of flour. give or take, kind of depending on your dough, but it will look as if I am putting in a ton of flour. This is only a half a cup measurement, so I put in 11 of these. This bread is so tasty and it reminds me of a Hawaiian loaf. So if you are interested in making this for yourself, I will leave the recipe in the description box below. We have had a ton of rain the last few weeks. There has been a lot of flooding in our area, and we noticed that our pool was very, very full. So my husband, before the snow and the freezing comes, he is draining off a bunch of the water in order to get it down and so it doesn't freeze in our pipes. The bread was done with its first rise, so I am shaping them and then I'll put them in the pans for their second rise before I bake them. This dough is a little thicker and harder to work with than my normal white bread sandwich dough, but it was still very, very good. I talk to a lot of moms that think that meals have to be elaborate. They act like they need all kinds of ideas. And this is my 5 year old's lunch that he often requests, at least several times a week. It is just normal white sandwich bread. Sometimes he wants it toasted and sometimes he does not, with a good smear of butter and then jelly over top. I cut it in a couple different pieces, and I am here to tell you this is nothing fancy. It is so easy, and this is one of his favorite meals. Now we are going to go around and make sure that all of our solar chargers are charged, and if they're not, we're going to charge them. This one needed a little bit more battery. This one is not a solar charger, but we charge it ahead of time and it lasts a really long time. And then I have a ton of candles that run off of batteries. So we are making sure that they all have new batteries. And I'm going around and covering up any areas like doors and windows that have drafts. We are supposed to get down into the negatives. It is supposed to be the coldest it has been all year. So we are trying to prepare for that, and kind of shut off any drafts or anything causing it to be cooler in the house. And this also helps if we do run out of power, then it will already be closed off and we will be able to hold our heat a little longer. But that is all I have for today. There is still a couple more minutes of the video left, but I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as we prepared for another upcoming storm. If you'd like to follow along with the progress of the storm, you can always add me on Instagram and follow my stories there. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.